Our next technique is glazing. With glazing, you're going to take your paint and water it down to a very thin, transparent layer. It's used so that you can see through that transparent layer, and it alters what's below it, but you're seeing both layers together. It's like looking through a piece of stained glass or looking through rose-colored glasses, and it changes the way the world looks. One example here I showed you earlier was this underpainted painting. There was a picture of, this is the still life that the artist was working from, and they drew it, and then they painted this as a grayscale painting. So the painting's all done in black and white. Then the artist goes back with very dilute, kind of an orangish brown paint, and puts a layer of this brown on top, and then probably adds other things, but the start of it, you can see, is this orange layer, and then they go back in and pop a few more details in, but you can see the black and white painting underneath, and it tones it all down. This works really well. We'll probably be doing some drawings that we stain on top of at some point. Let's go ahead and show you what this looks like. So I have this. We're going to glaze over part of our hard edge design. So I'm going to take a color. We have reds, yellows, and greens. If I put a purple over top of a yellow area, I'll be adding the complement on top. So here I have purple, and I'm really thinning it down. I can always add a little bit more, but I've got it really fluid here. Hope everybody can see that. Maybe not fluid enough now. And because purple is the complement of yellow, when I put this over top, we're going to really see a change in what that painting looks like. Now what you have to do is you have to be sure that what you're glazing on top of is already dry, because if it's not, I'm going to be picking up that paint, and I really don't want to do that. If you have an area that's too bright or too bold or not enough contrast, you can lay this down. Now this is truly a purple I'm putting down, and because purple and yellow are opposite, it's really browning up that surface. You could do small areas if you're glazing. You could do a whole section. One time I did a painting and it was all just too bright, and I glazed the whole thing and toned everything down to a more muted level. But you can see it's quite a bit different underneath there, just with that glaze on top. If you wanted, you could just glaze, you know, a section of it. If you just wanted a piece of it darker, you wouldn't have to glaze over top of the whole thing. Play around with the glaze. Don't glaze your whole square so you can see where it changes. So we have the flat hard edge and a glazed area.